Welcome back to the Playdate by Freshly Picked. I'm your host, Caitlin Hanson, and I am so excited to be here with you for another episode of Midweek Mantras. I feel like it's been a minute since I have sat down to record one of these, I bulk recorded some previously and then with spring break. So it's always nice to just kind of reflect on my mom thoughts and just some things that have been happening over the last little bit. So I know I've touched on a couple different things that I'll mention in other episodes, but we just came off of having spring break and it was such a good spring break. The week before, I had just gotten back from a long trip. And so I was really happy to have just some time to be able to spend with my oldest and youngest together. They a lot of times miss each other while they're at school or why my oldest is at school. And it also is just nice not having to revolve schedules around like, okay, wake up, get her to school by this time, and then, pick her up. It's just nice to like be home and then make our own plans based off of what we want to do. So yeah, it was just like a really awesome spring break. I think it was a little hard for Liv to go back to school on Monday, but I made kind of like a little deal with her. She does a after school program, and I told her this week she didn't have to go to the after school just because I knew that it would be a harder adjustment and I just didn't want to fight things. And she already goes to school for a long time, I feel like. So if she's not feeling the after school, I don't want to force her. And then yesterday, I actually had an appointment that's like 10 minutes away from her school. And I got Nora down for a nap and left her at home. My husband works from home. So I left her at home with him while she was napping and while he was finishing working. And me and Liv just got to go to like a bunch of home decor stores and walk around Springville. And it was just so fun to have some one on one time with her. One of her favorite things she says that we do together is just going to stores. Like she loves to just like be my little buddy, especially if she loves home goods and she loves to watch home good hauls with me on TikTok and Instagram. And so she loves to just walk through and be like, oh my gosh, that's cute. What do you think about that? Do you want this? And so it's just like our little time together. And she was at first I felt bad because I was like, oh, I have to drag her to my appointment and like I'm gonna be gone from Eric and Nora for a while. And I just feel bad. But then she was just having the best time. So it ended up being great. So I have found just like transitioning from that, I found a couple of things. You guys know I love my little TikTok quotes and things that, just kind of stop me and make me think. I've also been on like a big Dr. Becky Good Inside kick where every day I've listened to a new episode. And so much so that now Liv will be like, is this Dr. Becky? Um, and yeah, there was a lot of things that I have heard recently or that I had heard previously and then, remembered by re-listening to an episode. So I strongly encourage you to listen to Dr. Becky. She has great topics, great guests on there with her. One of the things before I actually dive into this TikTok, sorry, I'm like yanking you all over. But she was talking about just like the importance of self-care as a mom, and not only that you need to like recharge your battery, but it also is so important for your kids to see self-care modeled for them. And I had never really thought of it that way. They were talking about this story how this mom was like, I don't even know how to do self-care or like how I would do it. I know I'm like burnt out, but I don't know how because my mom was always like from sunup to sundown, like never got a break. I think they were homeschooled or something like that. And she was like, it was never modeled for me. So I have a really supportive husband and a great community of people that will watch my children for me to go out and do I don't know, little like brunches or run an errand or go to the gas station or go to get a drink or, just things like that. They don't have to be this like grand thing like a spa day, although I love myself a spa day. It can be something simple like running to the store by yourself, not just like the grocery store to go get groceries for yourself, but like a store that you've wanted to go to. It can be I want the lady on it was like, "What's if you don't know what to do, like, what's one thing that you can do?" And I'm like, "It can be, like, listening to one song by yourself." One of my forms of self-care is I'm a car, like, dweller, that's what I call it. So, the second I get in my car, if I don't have my kids, I'll, like, sit there for a while before I drive, and then when I get home, I will park my butt in the driveway and just, like, sit and catch up on, like, social media, and that's my self-care. So, speaking of TikTok, now back to that. I loved these quotes, and so I just wanted to share a couple, with you. I find myself, like, scrolling, and, yeah, there's been ones that, like, make me cry. So, this one says, "Your motherhood will outlive you and live inside your child forever." And then this reminded me of a video that I saw. I'm not, like, a sports person, so it's funny that I like this, but, Tony Finau's wife, runs an account called, Finau Fresh. Her name is Elena, I'm pretty sure. I don't wanna mess that up. She has the cutest page, and she posted this video of her husband and kids. They all wrote letters to her after she had her 6th baby, and gave her, like, makeup push presents, and they were all diamond rings that their kids had picked out, and they all wrote her, like, the most beautiful, letters, and one of the letters was like, "I know that moms don't live forever, but I am gonna try my best to take care of you every day," and I was, like, weeping. It just was so cute, and I especially for that video, all of the children just had, like, the most beautiful things to say, and it was just such a like, you could just tell that she's such a good mom and that all the kids feel so loved, through her, so not something that I aspire to be like. So everybody go watch that video because it's adorable. This next one says, I read this and it hit differently. Something nobody prepares you for about motherhood is watching your child grow. It's the feeling of never wanting them to grow up, but also being so excited watching them reach every new milestone. It's the heartache of knowing they'll never be that small again, but loving the little person they're growing into and wanting to see more. It's bittersweet, but beautiful at the same time. And it's both my girls' birthdays this month, and every birthday just makes me like, I don't know, just like sad and happy. And it's just like a little bittersweet moment because I couldn't agree with this more. Like, it's so fun each new stage, but I just like miss the little baby stage and like them being little. And I just feel like now they're like big and more independent and want to do their own things. So that was a quote that I liked and just something that's so good to remember. This next one says, "Moms aren't angry." Also, I don't know who that quote was by, so if you know, please comment below. This next one says, "Moms aren't angry. She's overwhelmed. She's burned out. She puts everyone else's needs before hers. She's exhausted from life admin. She's tired from carrying the mental load. She's overstimulated from the amount of noise her day's filled with. She's feeling intense mom guilt that everything or that anything she does is not good enough. She doesn't recognize herself. She's drowning in motherhood, and often it's mistaken for anger." And that is from At Life with the Drews. Sorry, I had a hard time reading that. But I also related to that where it's like being a mom sometimes is so challenging. Like you're pulled in a million different directions and it's so much more than just like, I don't know, taking care of your kids. It's also the household. It's also like looking ahead for them. It's not just in the moment. It's making sure that they have clothes and activities and that you are like helping them to be a good, confident, independent person, helping them with school things, making sure that they're not falling behind in school, making sure that you're exposing them to the right things, teaching them about different kinds of safety, all of the things. And it just is a lot. It's a lot of mental load. I love that term because there's just like no better way to describe like the constant to-do list in your head. And I I don't know. I just like it makes me appreciate myself and also appreciate my own mom for all the work that she's done and also continues to do because I call her multiple times a day and she also is somebody that regularly watches my children and I just like shout out to all you moms, like you're doing an amazing job. And I know that sometimes we can be so hard on ourselves that like we're not doing enough or whatever that might be. And just a reminder to give yourself grace and try to enjoy the little moments. And if you can't enjoy them today, try to enjoy them tomorrow. And you're doing an amazing job. And we'll see you next time. Bye.